Also, the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol has postponed today's public hearing because of Hurricane Ian. The committee announced the move yesterday, writing, quote, "We are praying for the safety of all of those in the storm's path." There is no word yet on when the hearing will be rescheduled, but the committee appears to be winding down its investigation. One committee member, speaking on the condition of anonymity, tells NBC News the panel is transitioning its focus to a written report outlining the panel's findings over the past 14 months. Joining us now, Justice Department reporter for the New York Times, Katie Benner. Katie, first of all, do we know when the next hearing will be? That does appear to be the final one, but how long will they hold off?
So talk is that it could be as soon as next week, but I think we should be cautious here because they can reschedule this hearing. We just saw them reschedule this hearing. So we will not know for sure until the committee puts out an official announcement.
Katie, I'm sorry, go ahead, Mika.
But the written report that they're working on, what are we hearing about what exactly they plan to do with that? There was talk about what it would take for them to actually, do a criminal referral to the Justice Department by unanimous vote, perhaps. Is that, at this point, just surmising, or is there legitimate undercurrents?
So I think that one of the things about this committee is that as they reach near the finish line, it starts to get really fuzzy in terms of what their mission is and what their intent is. And I think the report is a really great example of that. You're right. There was originally talk of a criminal referral to the Justice Department, but that conversation was happening at a time when it did not seem that the Justice Department was moving very quickly to investigate January 6th. And now we see that the Justice Department is moving ahead on that investigation and does not need a criminal referral from the committee in order to act. So the committee's report, I think, will ultimately be what they've always said, which is the fullest accounting to the American people of what happened leading up to January 6th, why the January 6th attack happened, and what to do afterwards. There may or may not be a criminal referral. They may or may not refer some activity regarding funding to the FEC. That's to be seen. But ultimately what they want to do is have a document that we can read that tells us exactly what happened and why.
And I think, Katie, obviously these hearings, particularly, and then the report will too, have captured the country's attention, and polling shows that in a way that maybe even the committee didn't expect. It has been compelling and will be in this last one. Let's take it from the other side of it, the Justice Department. How closely are they watching these hearings? How closely are they watching this last hearing? How closely will they read this final report when they consider whether or not to take up criminal charges here?
Top officials have always maintained that the department's leaders are watching extremely closely. It would be absurd not to. You never know what evidence can be brought in this forum. It might not be evidence that would hold up in a court of law, but certainly it could lead to interesting questions, to leads, investigative steps. So certainly they're watching closely. They will scan the report for any information they can find that matches what they've seen, that contradicts what they've seen, that contradicts what their own witnesses have told them. That will be really key. And keep in mind, the committee and the Justice Department have never really come to a full cooperation agreement. So for the department, some of the information that they see in the report whenever it comes could be information that they're seeing for the first time.
Katie, we continue to have convictions in the January 6th trials that are taking place. Yesterday, one of the toughest sentences handed down, along with a judge's just absolutely scathing indictment of the January 6 hearings, as well as Donald Trump.
Yes, this is true. And so keep in mind that while the committee has been, holding hearings publicly over the summer while they've taken their break, the Justice Department has been moving forward, to your point, with these prosecutions of the rioters. And we've seen judges now come out and criticize not only the folks before them on the bench who are being found guilty, who are being sentenced, but also really criticizing this ongoing lie that Donald Trump won the election and the ongoing damage that's doing to the country. And I think that we might see some of that in the future committee hearing as well. The committee wants to show some of the loose ends they've gathered up, which includes a more forward-looking view of the impact that all of this has had on the United States since the attack.
All right, the New York Times Justice reporter, Katie Benner, thank you very, very much for being on this morning. Also,